Ako si Maria, Filipina na nakatira sa Pilipinas. Siyang bansay tinuring na maliit at mahirap, ngunit sa kalikas at kultura'y nag-uumapaw. Hinubog ng ating kasaysayan, ating katutubo'y pinaglaban. Kalayaan kapalit ng buhay, buhay kapalit ng bayan. Hayaan mo akong magsimula upang ito'y huwag tapusin. At eto, ang aking maipagmamalaking yaman na kahit kanino man aking taas noo na ibabandera.
Philippine literature is literature associated with the Philippines from prehistory through its colonial legacy and on to the present. Noli me Tangere by Dr. Jose Rizal, published at 1887. Among the great novels in Philippine literature, Noli me Tangere or Touch Me Not is the most controversial and widely known. It's included in the current education curriculum of Filipino high school student, written by the country national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. This novel contains social awakening of Filipinos during the Spanish colonial era, as Rizal cannot comprehend the unfairness of the Spanish priests and the ruling government at that time. His purpose of writing this book was to expose the ills of Philippine society at that time. In this revolutionary book, you will all learn about the story of Crisostomo Ibarra, how he dealt the Spanish authority, and how he prepared for his revenge, as told in Rizal's second book, El Filibusterismo. Smaller and Smaller Circle by Maria Pilisa H. Bactan, published at 2002. Widely regarded as the first Filipino crime novel, is a poetic masterpiece of literary in the Philippines, a sensitive depiction of a time and a place, and a fascinating story about the Catholic Church and its place. The mystery novel revolves around two Jewish priests named Gus and Jerome, who happen to perform forensic work. There have been murderers of young boys in the slum area of Payatas. As the novel explores themes that deals with the corruption and incompetency in the government. They hope to uncover the mysterious murderer behind the serial killings in the Manila slum area. Dekada 60 by Luwalhati Bautista, published at 1983. The Marcos era in the 70s is a dark chapter in Philippine history. No one dares to speak against the government for fear of execution. In some cases, bodies are not even retrieved. Luwalhati Bautista have captured the true-to-life scenario in the 70s, mentioning changes after the Plaza Miranda bombing and the suspension of written of habeas corpus in the Philippines. The novel tells the story about the lead protagonist, Amanda Bartolome, and her family, where she had to deal the law and her responsibilities.
Bata, Bata, Paano Ka Ginawa, also known as Leia's Story, is a novel written in Filipino by the female writer Luwalhati Bautista. Bautista uses Taglish, a mixture of Tagalog and English, instead of pure Tagalog, as a stylistic device for her works. The novel is about the role of a woman, like its author, with Filipino society wherein the males were, in the past, assuming more dominant roles in society. Her work released in September 9, 1998.
Inihahandog ng Star Cinema, Bata Bata, Paano Ka Ginawa?
Sa mahabang panahon ng pagiging manunlat ko, ang feeling ko hindi naman talaga tunay na naikukwento yung pinakamatapat na pakiramdam at karanasan ng isang babae.
The novel began with an introductory chapter about the graduation day from kindergarten of Maya, Leia's daughter. A program and a celebration were held. In the beginning, everything in Leia's life was going smoothly. Her life in connection with her children, with friends of the opposite gender, and with her volunteer work for a human rights organization. But Leia's children were both growing up, and Leia could see their gradual transformation. There were the changes in their ways and personalities. Maya's curiosity was becoming more obvious every day, while Oji was crossing the boundaries from boyhood to teenage to adulthood. A scene came when Leia's former husband came back to persuade Oji to go with him to the United States. Leia experienced the fear of losing both her children when the fathers of her children decided to take them away from her embrace. She also needed to spend more time for work and with the organization she was volunteering for. In the end, both of Leia's children decided to choose to stay with her, a decision that Leia never forced upon them. Another graduation day of students was the main event in the novel's final chapter, where Leia was the guest of honor. Leia delivered a speech that discusses the topic of how life evolves and on how time consumes itself so quickly, as fast as how human beings grow, change, progress, and mature. Leia leaves a message to her audience that a graduation day is not an end, because it is actually the beginning of everything else that will come in a person's life. The main characters are Vilma Santos as Leia Bustamante, Ariel Rivera as Rafi De Lara, Albert Martinez as Ding Gascon, Raymond Bagatsing as Johnny Deogracias, Carlo Aquino as Oji De Lara, Serena Dalrymple as Maya Gascon, Cherry Pie Picache as Senior Ann, and Angel Aquino as Eleanor. Bautista's script is filled with comic and dramatic undertones. 8-year-old Serena Dalrymple provided most of the laughs as the innocent child who serves as Leia's mirror of her personality. Everything in the film is a labor of love and art, and it deserves to be a classic. Some of their famous line was, "Wala akong ginagawang masama!"
Akala mo lang wala, pero meron, meron, meron!
These are the camera techniques used in filming Bata Bata Paano Ka Ginawa. The first pictures is the extreme close-up. Extreme close-ups are usually an attempt to draw the viewer's attention to a particular detail. For example, the director may choose to cut from a mid-shot of a character to an extreme close-up emphasizing something about the character's appearance, like Leia's appearance in the picture. She seems so angry or frustrated. The second picture is a mid-shot. A mid-shot shows the characters from the waist up. The third picture is a full shot. A full shot shows characters from head to toe, like Leia's back. The fourth one is close-up. The close-up is one of the most commonly used shot sizes in film and television, usually showing a character's face. In symbolism, Leia symbolizes a modern woman. The character of Leia in the film symbolizes a modern woman, an independent, hardworking, versatile mother, wife, and employee. The character shows that women can also do the things men do. The line, "Sana kapag nagniniig ang mag-asawa, pati ang kanilang kaluluwa." This line tells that sex should not only involve lust, or physical contact or relationship, but rather should be done because of love. It should involve the soul, the emotional connection between the couple. The movie presented different culture and norms we have in the Philippines. It presented that in the past women in the Philippines normally and simply follows their wills and whims of their husbands and other male members of the society. Women were just to act upon their role as mothers who perform household chores, take care of the children, and take care of the needs of their husbands. It also presented close family ties among Filipinos, which is evident in the character of Ding, who lets his mother decide for him even if he's old enough and already had his own family. Moreover, it also showed the norm of the following and respecting the parents to the point of becoming too dependent from them, Ding following her mother's choice of the woman she will marry. The movie also presented the Filipino norm of judging people based on hearsays and wrong impressions. Hospitality is also presented in the movie. The movie Bata Bata Paano Ka Ginawa is a very inspirational, especially for the woman like me. It inspires people to fight for my rights as a woman, to show that I can also do the things man does. The movie showed that the role of a woman should not only be limited to the four corners of the home. Though it was written during the 1980s, the material still hasn't lost its appeal and connection to the people because of the feminist theme in it. The film was very successful because of how people appreciated it, and in every scene was very interesting because of how the story went well. It shows how they marginalized women before. The pictures and their actions were very real and it seems like they are connected to each other. Bata Bata Paano Ka Ginawa reaped numerous awards from various awards-giving bodies. Gawad Orian, Best Film, Best Actress, Vilma Santos, Best Supporting Actress, Serena Darrell Paul, Best Screenplay, Luwalhati Bautista.
Good day, I am Rosales and we are going to tackle about the movie Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros or The Blossoming of Maximo Oliveros. It is a 2005 Filipino film about a gay teen who is torn between his love for a young cop and his loyalty to his family. The film competed under First Cinemalaya Film Festival in 2005 and was the official entry of the Philippines to the 79th Academy Awards. It is one of the few digital films released in 2005 to do well at the TILs. It also made the rounds of international film festivals. The movie garnered 24 awards and 28 nominations from award-giving bodies locally and international. It was directed by Arius Salito and written by Michiko Yamamoto. The production companies which produces the film is UFO Pictures and Cinemalaya, and on July 13, 2005 is the date it was released on Cinemalaya Independent Film Festival. On November 30, 2005, it was premiered on selected cinemas in the Philippines.
Mabuhay! Si Maxi from the 7,100 Islands of the Philippines!
Love is...
Ano ka ba magkaka-girlfriend?
Ba't hindi naman, Kuya Victor? Ayaw ng girlfriend!
So, the characters in the film are Nathan Lopez as Maximo Oliveros, or Maxi, the main character or the protagonist in the story. He is a homosexual or gay teen who loves his family and soon developed a crush on someone in the movie. Then we have Soliman Cruz as Paco Oliveros. Paco is the father of Maxi who was soon died from the hands of a police. Then we have G.R. Valentin as Victor Perez. He is a police officer and Maxi's friend whom Maxi has a crush on. Then we have Neil Ryan Sese as Boy Oliveros, the eldest brother of Maxi, and Ting Medina as Bogs Oliveros as the other brother of Maxi. So next is you have the plot of the story. The film's plot is about a 12 years old gay, Maxi, who lives with his father and two brothers in a squatter area in Manila City. Maxi is on the cusp of becoming a teenager, which revolves around his juvenile love for a young policeman who saves him. The plot also focused on the illegal livelihood of Maxi's family. So, on the exposition, the story focuses on the protagonist, or Maxi, and mainly introduces who is Maxi. So, the movie started where Maxi was telling the story of his life, what is he doing, and what is his daily routine. Maxi behaves like a girl, wearing clips or hairband in his hair and bangles on his wrist, and even wearing lipstick. He is teased by neighbors and former school friends. His sexuality is, however, fully accepted by his two brothers and by his father. One night, he is accosted by two men who attempt to molest him, but is saved by the appearance of Victor. Because of what happened, Maxi started to have feelings or crush with Victor, while Victor does not have a girlfriend and his sexuality was kept ambiguous. Maxi started to befriend Victor and acting nice to catch the attention of Victor, such as cooking lunch for him. And rising action, murder and robbery happened in where the one who committed the crime was Boy Oliveros, or the brother of Maxi. In here, the one who committed the crime was Boy Oliveros, but he wore the t-shirt of his brother, Bogs Oliveros, and had Maxi burn the shirt to get rid of an evidence. Their family was also interrogated by the police. The police, Victor, becomes suspicious with their family, having a hint that the suspect on the said crime was one of Maxi's brothers, as he said on one of the scene that he saw Maxi burning a t-shirt, and Victor's knew since then that they got rid of the evidence. Maxi was torn between his crush for Victor and his loyalty to his family. In here, as the main conflict, he doesn't know what to do, whether to choose his love for Victor, as he asked Maxi to tell him the truth about his brother's crime, and was pressured and anxious because of his loyalty for his family as well. On the said event, Maxi's father, his brother Boggs, and Boggs' friends hatched a plan to teach Victor a lesson for snooping into their business. They leave him blooded and beat up. Just as Victor saved him, it was Maxi who arrived to clean Victor's wounds and cook breakfast for him. Maxi felt sorry and felt somehow responsible for his injuries. On the climax of the story, Boggs Oliveros was arrested and was imprisoned. Victor thought that it was Boggs Oliveros who committed the crime and said there was a witness to when the crime happened instead of Boy Oliveros, the other brother of Maxi. In here, Maxi's father died from gunshot by the hands of the superior police where Victor is under. It is the most heartbreaking scene in the movie where Maxi himself saw and witnessed how his father was shot and died by the hands of the police, and beside the police was Victor, whom he thought was his friend. On the following action, Boggs Oliveros was freed and dismissed in jail. Maxi resists Victor's attempt to renew their friendship. In here, after Maxi's father is killed by Victor's boss, which Maxi witnesses, Maxi resists Victor's attempt to renew their friendship. And the resolution or the ending of the story, the closing scene shows Maxi walking past Victor, who has parked by the roadside on Maxi's way to school. He ignores Victor as he passes him, hesitates momentarily as he crosses the road, then goes on his way. This shows how Maxi will continue his life as he changes himself and live a new life, taking new steps to be an educated person and get a decent job. So, what is the theme and symbolism of the story or in the story? So, then the theme that is in the story is the poverty, realism, love, and homosexuality. It depicts poverty as how Maxi lived their life, uneducated or undergraduate, and their environment. The place they live in is a slum in Manila, where people with a low financial status lives. It also shows realism. The movie depicted how people who lives in the slum live their everyday life, such as their love for gossip, gambles, and such. The movie also shows the dark side on how some of the Filipino who experiences poverty choose to live in an impure and malicious way, turning to do bad things and crimes because they can't find a way to solve their problems. It also tackles about the love and infatuation of someone who are in peak of puberty, and it touched a subject about homosexuality, and in the story, Maxi being gay was already accepted by his family, although he was still often teased by his former friends in school and other narrow-minded people around him. And on the symbolism, there are the title, the use of the title, in which ang pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros. The title itself, ang pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros, is catchy. The word pagdadalaga is a Filipino term that refers to a girl who undergoes puberty, age, and physical changes. It combines to the name Maximo Oliveros, which is a very manly name. The title itself is an oxymoron; opposite ideas and phrases that are contradicting to each other are combined to create impact. It shows his homosexuality, although he is a boy. With his manly name, he is an effeminate boy who portrays himself as a woman. There is also the other symbolism is the dirty river with garbage floating and the pink flower. At the first part, a dirty river with garbage floating in there was shown. Squatter areas are known to be dirty. A pink flower can also be seen floating along in the water, which represent Maxi. The surrounding around Maxis indicates that he lives in poverty. The other symbolism is Maxi's cooking, cleaning the house, sewing his brother's clothes. It symbolizes or portraying a woman's chores. It depicted how Maxi, despite from being a boy, are well known in a woman's chores, for he is gay. Then when he is wearing a flower on his ears. With this, Maxi's homosexuality is easily depicted. It symbolizes how gay can usually be identified for acting and wearing that of a girl. Then, the cinematography of the story, as all can see, the camera was able to angle and shoot the film greatly. At the beginning of the movie, the camera and the shots were able to show the environment of where the major character lives. And as the film goes on, it was able to greatly focus into the significance of the film, which is Maxi, his family, and Victor. The music, backdrop, and lightings also helped the movie to highlight the important scenes and added dramatic feelings to the film. The camera was focused firstly on the street life in Manila, which is the environment of Maxi. The angle was taken as Maxi is walking back to his house, so the shots were able to grasp the garbage dumps in Manila, the typical street life there, where there was even someone who sells sampaguita, the life of those in the slums which they were engaged in with drugs and gambles, the typical bets on wedding and ending and such. The rest of the movie greatly focused on Maxi, his family, and Victor. In every scene in the film, it was always coordinated with music, background, and lightings. Like in the beginning, the film was depicting busy street life in Manila, so the music background corresponds on the typical music choice of the people living in there, and the lightings and angles were able to successfully take in the scene, as the viewer were able to feel the kind of atmosphere and message from the scene. Then, the conclusion after watching the movie. Here are the major points where everyone should know on the movie. So, first, the portrayal of the gay character in the movie is realistic and media was able to depict the real life of homosexual. Unlike most of the movie where gay characters are portrayed as loud, promiscuous, and even paid for sex, in the movie, it's completely opposite in Maxi's behavior, who is like a girl and walks like a beauty queen. The movie itself portrayed the gay character more accurate and was able to highlight the struggles in terms of acceptance and discrimination towards gay in this conservative society. The film was able to capture the real image of gay men unlike most of the film media industry made. Despite of the fact that the film subjected on the ruthless social reality of the world, it did not overshadow the gay character portrayal. The film underpinned concerns and ventures new discoveries. The movie was able to show the secret life of gay men, raid women's wardrobe and heels, playing as beauty queen and daydreaming all day, which is an eye-opener to everyone. It also shows how the rate of acceptance of the homosexuals have in the country. Some of the people still discriminate the gays while some also have already accepted it. It also showcases Maxi's character strongly dreaming of becoming a beauty queen as he and his friends playing as candidates in pageants. This shows a typical Filipino gay man who's a big fan of pageants. The male gaze was also seen in the film while Victor was on shower. Maxi's eyes were on him. Victor becomes the object of another male gaze, wherein his persona, his physique, and his countenance become an appearance coded for strong visual and erotic impact according to Mas Cohen and Brody. The other points also is that the movie strongly depicted the life of people in the slums in Manila who experiences poverty. The movie shows the daily life of those people who lives in the slum in Manila, where most people do gossips and some are engaged in vices and drugs. One of the example is the family of Maxi, where they don't have a decent job, so they chose to resort to robbery and selling cell phones from what they do, and they use the money from the crimes they committed to live.
Magnifico. It is a Filipino film that produced in 2003, directed by Mario J. de los Reyes, written by Michiko Yamanto. It was released on January 29, 2003. Magnifico is a 9-year-old boy who tries to live up to his name. However, deep inside his soul, he is ashamed of it. All the attributes and expectations his father invested in naming his second son like brilliant, magnificent, admirable, and excellent acquired absurd dimensions in their humble environment of poverty, sickness, and suffering. He is the bright light in a family in which each member represents a different kind of torment. The highlighted elements of Magnifico. Vulture. Vulture because he promises Helen who can't walk that he'll take her to the carnival. He hopes to earn some money to buy a vulture from a rich neighbor, but in the end, he has to carry her on his back in order to fulfill his promise. The second one is Rubric's Cube, because he is the one who tried to soothe their woes with his childlike good nature, while his father tries recently to solve his Rubik's Cube. The third one is herbal medicine, because their family budget is not able to afford the medicines of his sister, who is afflicted with cerebral palsy named Helen, and for his ill grandmother. It won the Crystal Bear for the 2004 Berlin International Film Festival Children's category as well as the Duchess Kinderfeld's work Grand Prix. Garnered 7 major awards in the FAMAS Awards, 7 awards in the Gawan Urian Awards, 7 awards in the Golden Screen Awards, and 6 awards in the FAP Awards in its home country. In 2011, the Gawad Urian Awards Committee declaimed Magnifico as the best film of the decade. These are the film reviews by the New York Post, said by V.A. Museto, shamelessly press viewers' emotional buttons, but the film is so well made and the performances so accomplished that it doesn't matter. By Kevin Fax of QTV, the very definition of sentimental overload, it's also impossible to resist. By Mark Holcomb, if Michiko Yamamoto's screenplay overdoes Magnifico's wholly full virtue to the point of hysteria, the lustrous fluid compositions dead-on facing and knack for eliciting naturalistic performances make the story uncommonly cathartic. By Ramos, has Filipino color, definitely a tearjerker. By MHTS, great movie, Isabella de Leon really acted very touching and the whole cast of characters in the movie are just so magnificent. A must-see movie. By Javen Therick, this is one of the reasons why I'm proud to be a Filipino. It showed the reality in the eyes of an innocent child, thereby touching every viewer's soul. Way to go, Jiro. Magnifico is considered as a famous contemporary Philippine art. It showcased and highlighted the talent of Filipino portraying the beliefs and culture. The director was successfully delivered the lessons to all the viewers, knowing this film is a winner of breaking 7 rewards. It brings hope to all Filipinos that we could break in when it comes to a film or other forms of art. The character of Jiro Manyo here is apply himself diligently to the task, concocting a remedy for the mortician's ailments, playing matchmaker for his love-struck brother, industrially scheming to provide a burial ground and coffin for his grandmother, and negotiating a wheelchair so he can take his invalid sister to the carnival, seeking nothing for himself, with his undaunted dedication to bring joy to the people he loves. Magnifico somehow manages to find just the right solution to fill every need, and when the night of the big carnival arrives, his effort pay off in spades. Magnifico dies because he attempts to cross the street and gets fatally hit by a car one afternoon. The director of Magnifico wants to portray of altruism in its purest form. Jiro Manyo, who played Magnifico, is surrounded by a well-cast constellation of supporting actors like Lorna Tolentino, Albert Martinez, Gloria Romero, Cherify Picache, Isabella de Leon, Joseph Robles, and Magnifico touches the hearts of all those he meets because he inspired a renewed belief in hope and the power of giving.
Meme is an idea, behavior, or a style that spreads by means of imitation from person to person within a culture and often carries symbol meaning or presenting a particular phenomenon or a theme.
Lugaw, Delivery Riders Controversy. If food is essential and lugaw is food, therefore lugaw is essential. This one is an example of viral meme. A video which has been circulating online has come to our attention. It is viral because the delivery wants to do his work to deliver lugaw food, but one of IFTF's team stopped the delivery rider and found out the lugaw items and said it's not essential food. The rider scared thick by the barangay tanod, so he accept and leave them with the video. The next one is ayuda. It's hard to take ayuda. It takes months or more. It is said, may joke ako about relief goods, kaso baka di nyo makuha. It is viral because we are all knew that we are facing pandemic right now, and it is very difficult for us. Many can share this viral meme because not everyone receiving any ayuda coming from the government.
Ever since Four Sisters in a Wedding premiered on the big screen, most of us have found one or two more Salazar siblings that we can relate to. Plus, their family events and household situations created a huge impact on us by mirroring our lives in many ways. Last year, fans of Salazar's applied their wit and humor, as they do every single year. That resulted to many Four Sisters and a Wedding memes. Quoted to, pero bakit parang galit ka? Pero bakit parang kasalanan ko? Jonalyn Mercado in one of the more memorable scenes from English-only plays. One time, the two exasperated ladies unloaded their emotion burdens. Kumukota ka na talaga sa pagkatanga sa pag-ibig? Malice words direct, to which the latter bitterly replied, wala namang bibilang kung ilang beses ka nagpakatanga, diba? Just who among us can't relate to the labels? Hashtag tanga number 1, hashtag tanga number 2, foolish heart 1, foolish heart 2, and the all too familiar, kasi traffic sa EDSA, excuse for tiredness.
Chris Aquino memes because there's no way you've managed to escape the screen cap of her saying because practically everyone online has been dropping it in tweets, updates, and even normal conversation. And we totally get it. There's just something about her facial expressions that completely encapsulates everything we're feeling right now. In case you're wondering where it came from, the screen cap is from a 2000 interview on Chris TV with Kim Chu. For some background info, Chu was there to promote her rom-com movie with Sian Lim, Bride for Rent. The interview went from a typical promotional one to a very personal one. In the interview, Chu was having a hard time expressing herself while trying not to break down, and Aquino as a host was patiently waiting for her to give an answer and drop the line, so natouch ka because, and that's the beginning of a viral meme. Eddie don't Bimbi memes. Bimbi is slowly catching up to his mom when it comes to breaking the internet. The way they respond in conversation is very much the same, sassy and witty, and their one-liners have given birth to thousands of memes on social media. Bimbi is making a social circle of his own too, and he can jive with anyone he meets, just like his mom. We practically using that memes always when someone disagree on what we want to do. We say Eddie don't when our tropas say no to our invitation, and we jokingly say Eddie don't. We use this meme to make someone laugh, and we know that someone behind it is Bimbi.